Okay, once again, the format will be we'll ask Coach to make an opening comment. We'll then take questions for our student athlete and then excuse her, and then we will return to Coach for questions. We have with us Mississippi State head coach Sam Purcell and student athlete Kayla Jordan. Coach, can you make some opening comments, please?
Yeah, let me make a couple here. Bear with me. Obviously still emotional from the loss, but first and foremost, my prayers and thoughts are with Juju. Obviously, we're competitors, and you never want to see that, especially what she means for women's basketball and a competitor. I'm hoping the best for her because she's special, and obviously she's special for this team. Second one is just congrats to USC. I thought the environment here was very special. That DJ is unbelievable, and I thought the energy was phenomenal. And I think, a shout-out to the crowd when Juju went down, how they rallied behind the players. And I thought they uplifted them, and they played lights out. And when you play a number one seed that just shoots it the way they do, they were the better team. And tonight we needed to play our best, and we just didn't do that. And then third and final here is a shout-out to my seniors. For us to get back to this NCAA tournament, to have a winning culture, and to have this young lady right here beside me for this journey for my first 3 years. I can't say enough thank yous to her, Kayla, and Anaya. We didn't want this to end because, as much as the transfer portal happens, you put a team together. We were playing our best basketball at the right time, and, it just wasn't our night tonight.
Okay, we'll take questions for a student athlete. Over here, Beth.
Kayla, athletes always want to go best against best and have that competition be top level. What did you think when you saw Juju go down?
Honestly, just very unfortunate. You look forward to playing people like Juju. Like I said it yesterday, like Juju is a generational talent, man. She's changed the game in so many ways at such a young age. I actually was looking forward to playing against her. She's one of the best of the best. So seeing her go down just was real tough. I say my prayers for her. I hope she's okay. But it sucks. It was their last home game. Very unfortunate. Like you hate to see a player go down, especially someone's just as great as Juju.
What was it like for you and your teammates to, hear that booing every time you guys touched the ball, and they even got after your cheerleaders at halftime?
Were they booing or cheering for us?
Like Coach Sam said, they're gonna stand behind their home team. We're in their home. In California, it's Juju. They're gonna go hard for Juju. So I couldn't do nothing but just respect them because, if we were in our home and it was flipped, our fans would ride for us. So like I said, prayers to Juju. I hope she's okay. Very unfortunate, but congratulations to USC.
We have a couple questions on Zoom. Let's go to Robbie Falk.
Hey, Jerk. Just kind of wanted to ask you about your tenure at Mississippi State, and we talked about it a few weeks ago. I mean, you chose to stay here. There's several different coaches, and you'd already transferred here from somewhere else. I mean, how do you kind of sum it all up and what you were able to do here?
I'm honestly just grateful for the time that I had at Mississippi State, grateful for Coach Sam and, everything we've been through. He's brought me to a tournament for my first time. It's my second time here with him. Just reflecting on everything, I'm just proud of the route that I've taken. I wouldn't change it for anything. If I can do it again, I would do it all over again. Everything comes to an end one day. So, I'm just glad to go out with this coach, this team. And like I said, I'm just grateful for the opportunity, honestly, to even be here in this tournament.
We have another question from Zoom from Sam Sklar. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah. Hey, Kayla, it's Sam Sklar with the Clarion Ledger. Kind of similar to that question, but just you being here now for a few seasons and playing your last game, what do you just think of the direction of the program and where these progress has been made these last couple of seasons?
Honestly, I remember first committing to Mississippi State. It was nothing like this. I've had a team of 7 We went out there and played every night, team of 5, team of no coaches, interims. Like you said, I've been through 3 different coaching staffs. But honestly, just being someone that can watch the program evolve with your own eyes, being there when there were, no one in the crowd to play my first sold-out game from LSU. Like, I feel like if I had a checklist, I've checked everything off the list of my college career. And, I give all thanks to this man. Like, I've played in sold-out crowds. I played against the best of the best. So, I could just say thank you to this program as a whole. Thank you to the Starkville community. And like I said, I'm just very grateful, honestly.
We'll go to Amanda here.
Amanda Skurlock, LA Sentinel. What maybe improvements or proud moments do you have this season? How did this season change you for the better?
That's a great question, honestly. I've changed a lot. Not only on the court, but just like off the court as a person. Like, I've learned a lot about myself. He had to force me to be more talkative. Like, I like to lead by example, so I had to step on my show a little bit, especially with last year. Like you said, I've been through ups and downs, highs and lows here at Mississippi State, where we didn't make the tournament last year. And I think we had like maybe 3-4 returners. Like, we didn't have a team. We didn't even have a starting 5. So it was just 4 of us. But, I stuck beside him. I trusted the process. I learned to take in the freshmen and the newcomers and just tell them, like, some things you don't want to go through again. Like, I've seen the worst, the best, but I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. So me overall, I feel like I improved very mentally, just growing as a person. And now just taking everything I learned from, the team and just going into the real world and using that every day.
We have any other questions? Okay, thank you very much for coming
Thank
in.
you. Thank y'all.
Okay, we can direct questions now to Coach. Down front.
Jordan Mendoza, USA Today. Coach, obviously the injury seemed like it was kind of like a non-contact injury, but it appeared...
You're talking about Juju.
Yes,
Yeah.
with Juju. But, it seems like there are some people that thought one of your players did something, and it seems like it's kind of getting on social media. Have you kind of talked to your players about just, hey, like, you're okay, you did nothing wrong?
No, I this is the first time I've heard that. Again, like that's what I said in my opening statements. We're a program of class, and my prayers and thoughts as the leader of this program immediately in that opening statement was with Juju. We don't play to hurt, we play to compete, and that's just an unfortunate situation. There was no harm, and I hope us as a society, because social media can be ugly, that you understand the other lady on my team that was involved is a woman of class. She comes from a family, too, with loving parents, and I'm sure she is remorseful and obviously, but, didn't want to have that happen situation. So I pray as a society that we understand as a thoughtful apology that we don't take this further than it needs to. And on behalf of the Bulldogs, again, we're praying for her recovery for this next game because she's the ultimate competitor, and we want to see her back on that court.
Okay, let's go to Zoom. Robbie Falk.
Hey, Coach. Robbie Falk with Maroon and White Daily and
Hey, Robbie.
Starkville Daily News. Obviously, you took this roster over. You had to completely rehaul it outside of 3 or 4 players, and you're right back in the NCAA tournament. We talked about this. I know this was a disappointing ending, but how do you kind of sum up how you were able to get this team back to where you wanted to be and in position to where you're playing a team that can compete for a national championship and you're in position to go to the Sweet 16?
Yeah, if you're a competitor, first and foremost, you sacrifice, and I talked about my team. It's chances and choices, and we made the choice to come here. We made the choice to wear this Mississippi State jersey and wear it with pride, and that's what I'm prideful of, is that we put another 20-win season and competed in the toughest league in the country, and then we just got to be real. Tonight was not our night. USC deserves all the flowers. They were unbelievable, and they were the better team, but we can't let one night like tonight derail, to your point, what a great year that we had to get this program back, and now it's maintaining that energy and only building off of it. And then obviously in women's basketball, our goal is to get to this point where we win enough games now and take this to the next level where you're hosting in the first and second round and try to avoid a situation like this, because again, I can't say enough great things about USC and the energy of the fan base and that DJ and the energy that was in this building. I just thought they played at another level tonight.
Let's go to Sam Sklar on Zoom.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
I talked a lot about the turnovers this season, and
Yeah.
just looking at the stats, 20 field goals and 20 turnovers. How much do you think that just played a part in how things kind of unraveled it?
Yeah, it was unfortunate. We've seen this year. We talked about getting off to a great start. I thought we had great prep. I mean, you saw a great Cal game where we fought like no other. And then when you play a team like this, you don't want to get punched in the face. And I thought, obviously, the first call of the game on Medina was hard, but the next thing you know, I'm burning a timeout, and it's 11-0, I think, all right, to start the game, or 9-0. They were making shots, and then that's not what you want. You want to have them tight because they're obviously trying to defend their home. But when you got a major league like that with one of the top teams in the country, I just thought they continued to start cooking and start playing. And they, just like they did in this media room, turned the lights up on us.
We will continue, hoping that we can still see here.
Somebody hit the light button, guys. Oh, okay.
Okay, let's go over here to Amanda. Jillian?
I know you mentioned this in your first statement, but if you could talk to me about Jacayla Jordan and just what she meant to the program. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Then what does she mean? Just all the years that she's been here, what does she mean to you and the program?
I'm going to stretch on this one. Let's try not to get emotional again. 20 years, right? I've been in this business. There's certain kids that are special. I love all these seniors. But that one, like you heard her story, man, we've been through some stuff, right? Given this job 3 years ago, there's a lot of pride to understand what I've taken over, right? We were at the highs of highs, and I embrace it. I'm a dog. I want to get it back. But in order to get it back, you got to have some dogs with you. And for Jerk to stay in the program and give a first-year head coach an opportunity, it's unheard of, right? Like, she's like, what in the world's happened in my career? Who did we just hire? The guy's never been a head coach. But I sat down with her and I talked to her, and she was like, okay, I'm going to give him a chance. And then in the first year, we make the NCAA tournament, and just like today's society, the portal's crazy. She didn't leave me. Everybody wanted her. All right, she was a top SEC player, but she was like, Coach, I believe in you and the vision. And then for second year to be one of the first 4 teams out, again, kids can make excuses. They can leave. She didn't. She loves Mississippi State, and she loved this program, and she was one of my lead recruiters in helping put this team together. And for us to get back is a testimony to her because coaches get too much credit for wins and losses, right? And a player like her, when we look at the history of our program, you look at a kid that, like I said, played every single night like it was her last game. And you just love that as a coach. You want that out of every player, but every player ain't wired like that. Jerk's wired for that. I can go back from games and games when it's been hard, and she rises to the occasion. That's why I hate this one ended like it did, all right, because she wanted this. It just wasn't her night. But I'm emotional because I love that kid, and there's no doubt she's going to be a pro, and I wish nothing but the best for her and thankful for the 3 years that she gave me. You got me. That's all right. And the lights. And there they go again.
Let's go to Benjamin Rosenberg on Zoom.
Yeah, hi, Coach. It just seems like when you've got a team that's making a bunch of really tough shots, including some highly contested ones, how do you not let that affect your play on the offensive end? It seemed like, obviously they were pressing and sped you guys up a little bit, but how can you not get hurried when the team is just smoking hot the way they were?
Yeah, again, I can't say enough things. We got to keep it real. We got our butt kicked by a really good team. And again, I thought they played inspired when Juju went down and this place went to a whole nother level. And they've got other really good players. And when a good player goes down, other players step up. And I thought that's what you saw tonight. Obviously, Kiki, I think, is one of the best players in the country, and she was electric. We had our center on her, our guard on her. We doubled her. We went 2-3. We went man-to-man. We trapped her. We never stopped her. We threw the whole kitchen sink in the house, but she was just electric, and that's what great players do. They make plays, and they carry a swagger, and I thought she did that. And then our goal was to get it to 10 by half, and I could just see that shot at the end of the half. It's one of those nights when you just know, oh, crap, there's still time on the clock, and they shoot it, and it banks in. You know you're in for a long night, and it's their night. So we tried everything, like I said, but there's no excuses. They were the better team. We had to bring our A game, and as simple as just unfortunately in the second round we did it, and you got to give USC their credit.
Let's go right back here. We'll do this, and then we have one question on Zoom, and that'll be it.
Yep.
Coach, I assume coming into the game you had developed a game plan to stop Juju or to contain Juju. So when she goes out like that, how difficult is it to switch your game plan and try to stop
Right.
Kiki and the other actions that they had that
Yeah.
were away from that?
Yeah, that's a really good question, man. You guys know Juju obviously is the focal point, right? So obviously we wanted to double her on ball screens, blitz her, when she went on one-on-one isolations because, Juju is the lead, as she should be. But we also knew when Juju is out in the minutes that she played previously that it was going to go to Avery Howell or Kiki. Those are the next two that are going to get their numbers called. So we tried, but again, when elite players know that they need to rise to the occasion, that's why I want to give Kiki and Howell their flowers, along with Samuels. I don't think Samuels gets enough love. All right, I keep saying it. That kid, every time I watch the tape, changes the game. She changes, and I told my team, you've got a special team when, no offense to her, she's the third point guard on the team. And she comes in, and I'm talking about the third point guard as much as I am the first. And I tell them, we got to be mentally dialed in and don't turn it over when we inbound it because she's picking you up and she's going to change the course. And it happened right away. So just a shout out to those other players being ready for their moment. And again, this team at USC still has a special team. And like I said, I hope Juju can come back because they've done a lot of great things this year, and you don't want to see something derail here this late in the year. Hopefully that answered your question. That answer it? Perfect.
We'll go back to Robbie. You have your hand raised still? Robbie Falk?
Yes, sir. Sam, just kind of looking ahead now, I mean, obviously replacing a special player in Jerkayla. I know you're hoping to bring back a lot of this roster. You have a lot of players that have the opportunity to come back.
Yeah.
What's kind of your outlook on building this next team?
Yeah. First and foremost is, like I said to the returners, is like, man, it's obviously, again, this is a beauty of March, but tomorrow's the portal is retaining all the players and bringing this team back. We have a winning culture that just went to the NCAA tournament, just signed a top 10 signing class in the country with some great young women that our fan base is going to absolutely love. So that's my energy right there is talking with them and making sure nothing changes here tomorrow. And then let's build off this. Let's have some chemistry where we understand what it takes and not have to spend so much time like we this year to build that nucleus, because I think those group that can come back is a special group. We would love to have them here, and they did a lot of great things this year.
All righty, Coach. Thank you very much for coming in. Our apologies on the lighting.
That's all right. Thanks, everybody.